When we talk about permaculture, your mind probably jumps straight to gardens, right? Food forests, clever land design. But what if I told you that the most powerful place to start your design isn't in the soil at all? What if it's actually inside yourself?
Okay, so let's break this down. The way we usually approach permaculture is by looking at the world around us. We get out there, we observe nature, we map out our resources, all to build these amazing systems that are resilient and productive. And smack dab in the middle of that design is what we call Zone 1. This is your home, basically. The area right outside your door. It's the place you're in every single day. It's where your kitchen is, where you sleep. It's your personal hub. The base of operations that supports you.
Now, here's the question that kind of flips the whole thing on its head. If your home, this structure that's designed to take care of you, is Zone 1, then what are you? Where do you, the person, fit into this whole model?
This is where we step beyond the garden gate and into a really powerful new way of seeing things.
The answer is Zone 0. That's you, the self. This concept puts you at the absolute dead center of your own world. It means you're not just the designer, you are the design. You are the primary ecosystem that needs to be nurtured and cared for. And this Zone 0, it's your whole being. You've got the outside part, that's your physical body, your health, the things you do. And then there's the inside, your thoughts, your beliefs, your ideas. And you can't really design one without the other, right? They're totally connected. One single ecosystem.
So, what does it actually mean to apply permaculture design principles to yourself? What does that look like in real life?
Well, designing your Zone 0 isn't some fuzzy, abstract thing. It's about real, concrete actions. We're talking about things like dialing in your nutrition, making sure you actually get enough sleep, always learning new things, using tools like meditation to quiet the noise, and, building relationships that lift you up. Every single one of those is a design choice for your own inner world.
And this is so important to get. This is not about being selfish. It's actually a fundamental duty. Think about it. By making your own Zone 0 stronger, you're building the energy, the focus, and the capacity to show up for everything and everyone else in your life.
If you want to see just how incredibly powerful and resilient this inner zone can be, well, history gives us one of the most profound examples you could ever imagine.
Just think about Nelson Mandela. For almost 30 years, his physical body was locked away, confined to this tiny little cell on Robben Island. So in our permaculture terms, the outside of his Zone 0 was completely controlled by others. His movement, what he ate, his whole physical world, none of it was his choice.
And yet, his inner Zone 0, his mind, his beliefs, his vision for a new South Africa, you couldn't put that in a prison cell. Those ideas, as the source says, they don't just go away. They stayed free, they stayed powerful, and in the end, they literally changed the world.
This story just lays it bare. Real power, the kind that creates lasting change, it doesn't start out there. It starts right here, inside our own Zone 0.
So, how does this inner world actually connect to the outer world? Well, it turns out there's this really cool feedback loop going on. So check this out. In permaculture, Zone 5 is the wilderness, the wider world that's beyond our control. What happens is, when we go out and experience that wider world, it gives us a new perspective. That perspective then influences our inner world, our Zone 0, and that, in turn, fuels us and empowers us to take meaningful action in all the other zones of our life. It's a full circle.
And that really is the heart of it. Focusing on your inner world isn't about running away from problems. It's the exact opposite. It's about taking back your power so you can actually show up and make a real difference out there.
And this isn't just a nice idea or some theory. It's actually being put into practice right now to train the people who are going to be designing our future.
This whole philosophy is so critical that it's become the bedrock for a totally new kind of permaculture design certificate course.
So how do they do it? The whole course is built around the number 3. It integrates this idea of head, hand, and heart by bringing together 3 different facilitators, each one bringing a piece of that holistic puzzle.
And this is what makes it so different. You have Steve Jones, he's the hand, focusing on all the practical, on-the-land skills. Then there's Julie Leone, she's the heart, working on community and the people side of things. And then, And this is the game changer. You have Sari Jordan, who is the head, specifically guiding people on how to design their own Zone 0. The whole thing is built from the inside out.
So, what does this all mean for you? Let's boil it down. First, your number one responsibility is to yourself, to your Zone 0. Second, when you take that on, you take your power back. Third, real, lasting change, it always starts from the inside. And finally, you can and you should design your life to nourish yourself first. That's the fuel for everything else you want to do.
Look, we all know the world needs changing. That's a huge task. So the question to leave you with is a very personal one. Where are you going to begin your design?